So one of the things that I enjoy doing is riding my bike. And it's even more enjoyable when I can ride on a designated bike trail or pedestrian path that's separated from the street where the cars are. Now in New York, New York City, that is, we do have bike lanes. The city is actually becoming a little more bike friendly, but most of the time, the bike lanes are actually in the street as opposed to this bike lane that I'm on right now, which is separate from the street. This is something that I would prefer. But oftentimes, the lanes are in the street, and the only thing separating it is the color of the bike lane. Usually the bike lanes are colored green, and there's really nothing stopping the cars from moving over into the bike lane. One of the things that I like about living in the section of the Bronx that I live in is this right here. I can get to ride quite a few miles on bike trails, bike paths rather. And even when I'm running, I get to run on these bike paths, which I appreciate a little better than when I'm riding or running in the city in Manhattan, because it's always congested. You gotta go a lot of road crossings, and even on the extreme ends of Manhattan, either on the west side or all the way on the east side, East River or by the Hudson River, it's congested on those designated bike and pedestrian lanes because, you know, there's so many people in the city, and they all have to try to utilize those strips to do things like run and bike ride, just walk and chill, so it can make it a bit challenging. So during those times when there are no bike lanes and street riding looks kind of sketchy, I often ride on the sidewalk. So, I mean, I definitely have to use good judgment because, you know, if it's a busy sidewalk, then I have to be very careful, or I have to just ride in the street. So those are kind of the options that I'm faced with. And once again, it's usually a judgment call as to how I go about it. And when I choose to ride on the sidewalk, you get to see a little bit of how challenging it can be in this. So a perfect example is right now I'm in the street and they're doing some work, and you got a big truck blocking my pathway, so I have to get on the sidewalk. And you can see what the sidewalk looks like. Let me get around you real quick, sir. Thank you. Pardon me, brother. Thank you. So this example could not have come at a better time. I'm on a blacktop and it's hot. It's like they just laid it. I probably need to get off of it because it might damage my tires. I'm sure I'll be taking some blacktop home with me. But that was a great example of some of the challenges of riding a bike in New York City. I'm gonna have to get on the sidewalk again. So then you got glass and all kind of other stuff to deal with. Over here, I've decided to ride on the sidewalk because, as you can see, there is no bike lane on the street and there's very little room on the side for me to ride my bike safely with the vehicular traffic coming. Also, there are no pedestrians on this sidewalk, so that's something that I always make sure I consider when I make a decision to ride on the sidewalk. If there's pedestrian traffic, is there some other stuff going on the sidewalk that would make it unsafe? Please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know what kind of rider you are, whether you ride road bikes, trail bikes, hybrids, whether you're a cyclist who like to race and do a lot of speed, whether you just ride a cruiser, whatever kind of bike you like, and what type of terrain you prefer to ride on. You ride on the street, you ride on designated bike trails, you ride on gravel, you ride up in the woods. Just let me know. Once again, I'm Charlie. Thank you for watching the video, and until next time, stay on the move. That ride right there was a perfect example of why you need a mountain bike in New York City.